Paola, let's talk about the Commonwealth. What can you tease about the Commonwealth this season?
The first thing I gotta say is that it's creepy. It's so creepy because we're so used to seeing people filled with dirt and zombie blood, and these people look clean and civilized, and we're not used to seeing civilized people on this show. And what I have to say for real is the calm before the storm. Everything seems to be running so smoothly with them that you know that it's going to go crazy.
Right.
Our characters are so used to trauma and hardships, and finally they meet these people. It's kind of when Rick went to Alexandria, and everything seemed to be running so smoothly, looked like such a nice community, and then it just all went to... So yeah, that's what I gotta say about that.
And I have to say, I didn't, before the show you were like, oh, we haven't met in person. I'm like, yeah, we have. You've been on the...
Nope.
Oh, no, it's all been virtual.
Nope.
This is your first time on the Talking Dead set. It's so nice to see you in person. It's so nice to meet you in person.
Happy to be here.
It's really great to have you here.
Thank you.
This is from Instagram, from Falsa Gringa. Paola, as a spectator, what do you think about Negan not helping Maggie on the train?
Okay. I think Maggie needs a little bit of a scare. I think she's going off the rails a little bit, and I think... Listen, no, don't clap too much. I don't think you should have left her there. But I think you should have, ducked to the side for a couple of seconds and let her believe that you weren't going to help her, and then help her. But she needs a scare, and they need to sit down and talk about it. I don't know if there's redemption for Negan, but she needed the scare. That's all, and I love that. I love Maggie's character.
The sit-down talk might be tough at this point.
I know.
Should we talk about that? Okay, well, later on, we'll talk about it.
Maybe they should have talked about it in that moment. That might, you know.
That might have been good, but what was it like shooting those scenes for you?
I mean, it was awesome. Kevin Dowling, our director, did it in such a way where he would swap us in and out, in and out.
Yeah.
So first would be the boys, like Eugene and Ezekiel, and then it would be Yumiko and Princess. And I think the way it was shot, like with his brain of swapping us in and out, made it so, that's why it feels so rapid fire and like boom, 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 boom. And it was just such a great, we had special sides that were designed for that swap. So it felt like a tag team, like being in team sports again. It was amazing. He's great.
And what do you think Princess would have asked if she was the interrogator?
Do you throw parties here? And most importantly, can I be the DJ?
Yeah, exactly. Paola, what's it been like working with Michael James Shaw, who, of course, plays Mercer?
Oh, we get along great. We hang out outside of work. We're even working on a song together. I didn't ask him if I could say that, but sorry, Mike.
That's all right. He dropped the F-bomb last week, so it's totally cool.
So we're totally cool. No, we're working on a song together. I taught him how to dance Dominican bachata music. We just hang out all the time, and we support each other on set. We ask each other what each other needs for the scene, and we just check in with each other after every cut, you know? That's fantastic.
That's really fantastic. Jeffrey and Paola, how do you think Negan and Princess would get along? For some reason, they remind me of each other. I'm not sure I understand the connection, but how do you think they'd get along, Paola?
Oh, I think they get along great. They would love each other. I mean, that duo is unbeatable. I think they would get along great, and they become super good buddies. They're both wild cards. So, I mean, who knows what would happen with the apocalypse if the two of them hung out? Who knows?
All right.
I'm afraid, but I would go to that apocalypse. I want to live in that apocalypse. If they're running it, I'm there.
Let's see. Jeffrey.
I agree.
Yeah, buddy.
This is for Angela from Felicia6 on Twitter. This is a question we've actually been asked quite a lot from comic book readers. Can you tease if Mercer and Princess will have a relationship like in the comic?
I mean, you'll have to watch and see, but I think these two have some chemistry.
All right.
Hey.
All right. This is for Paola from Amanda's Editing on Instagram. How much Princess do you see in Paola, and how much Paola do you see in Princess?
I mean, I've always said that Princess is Paola when she was 7 years old. Princess is me as a 7-year-old, her energy and just how loving she is, but also vulnerable. So I think there's a lot. I mean, as Paola, I'm much more like, you know, like I am right now. but I can
pretty
also be
excitable.
yeah, and I can also be loud and exciting and everything. But I think it was more like me when I was a kid with the hyperactivity and just like always talking and I'm always like moving around and making jokes. So there's a lot. They're pretty connected.
But you played her so beautifully in this episode where she's just has this. She's obviously very hyper aware of everything that's going on in her head, but she's also incredibly hyper aware of everything in the world. And that sort of just like rattling off this detailed list of everything that everyone is doing was just so beautifully played this episode.
Thank you so much. Chris.
Paola, where does Princess get her jacket? Where did she get her jacket? Do you know?
I think she got it. She found it in like a 13-year-old's closet, like a little 13-year-old girl's closet. And she saw it and she was like, this is dope. This is amazing. And also, she was smart about it because she was like, it's so thick. Like, I call it the sofa because it's like wearing a sofa. I've said that so many times, but it's true. And she saw that it's so thick, so it's hard for the walkers to bite through. So, you know, she's smart. She got it.
And also, I think it might have been cold when y'all were shooting down there as well.
I can't even remember. That was so long ago. And yes, it was. Yes, it was. I just remembered.
You just remembered. And yes, it was freezing. And yeah, I guess in their world, like the entire world is a secondhand store, right? Like anything.
Absolutely. It's a vintage store.
It's a vintage
Everywhere.
store. Yeah.
Every house.
Just all about upcycling, whatever you can find.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Paola, what did you think of Princess, what we sort of talked about earlier, where she's so hyper aware of everything, she picks up on the romance between the guards. Now we have a little more time to talk about that. What do you think about this trait?
I think it just says a lot about her character and how deeply she cares for others. And I also think it's a very good skill to have in the apocalypse, to listen to every detail and then have that to plan out, I mean, in this case, an escape. But I think it says a lot about how much and how deeply she cares for other people and the little eccentricities of other people. And I think it's a good skill to have.
And because some people were saying like, oh, well, is this just something that's in her imagination? But they got the suits.
That's right.
So it couldn't have been,
Nope.
right?
Nope. It's
No.
real. It's real. We wouldn't have gotten the suits otherwise. They went to do their thing and took off the suits. And then we grabbed the suits. So it's real. It wasn't in her imagination.
So I guess it was a thing.
There you go.